What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Mallow here. I'm about to bring y'all the latest review of the latest chapter of My Hero Academia. But first and foremost, happy 5-year anniversary of My Hero Academia. Let's give a round of applause for them. Because it's been one hell of a journey these past 5 years so far. And I can't wait to see how the story ends. So let's get right into it. We start the chapter off with Redestro questioning how Shigaraki is, he has this strong will to overcome this circumstance. He's talking about how his overload cluster draws out his stress and converts it to energy and releases it over a wide area. Meanwhile, his henchman is calling him to let him know that his main concern should be about his safety, while he's monologuing in his mind about Shigaraki and all that other shit. It's the pinnacle of my superpower that I've polished since childhood. It's not an attack that can be dodged so casually. Yet somehow, he touched it. In an instant, he moved. He suppressed his defensive instincts, purely for the sake of destroying. And then we start to get into more of Shigaraki's backstory. But before that, all of my senses are sharpening. Everything is becoming clear and vivid, as if it happened yesterday. And it turns out that Redestro's motives about him is true. He only wants to destroy, and says, "Die then. There is no future for a world without creation." Future? Who needs that? And then we get to see more of Shigaraki's backstory. We see Shigaraki getting brought back home to his parents because it seems like he was causing trouble, and the mother says she'll discipline him. But turns out that didn't happen. It was the father that disciplined him. Seems like the father, he hates heroes, but there's more to that, which I'll get into. He hates when people play. He hates it when Shigaraki wants to be a hero and all that other stuff. And all you see is him dragging Shigaraki to his room. Wait, stop! And the mother's like, no! Kotaro, stop. Don't be violent with him. If you want me to stop, then you'll listen to me for once. We had a rule in our household. One single rule that my father put into place. Do not talk about heroes. And it turns out Shigaraki's real name is Tenko Shimura. And because of his real name is Tenko Shimura, which is why they can't find anything about Shigaraki's backstory. They can't find out anything about him. It's because that's not his real name. And in this flashback, he's 5 years old. Don't let him inside until he apologizes. But what about dinner? And his allergies are acting up right now. The rules are the rules. Haven't you been too harsh on him lately? He's already 5, but he hasn't gotten a quirk. He needs to learn this lesson early, or he'll only suffer later in life. Heroic aspirations lead only to misfortune. Mom, Dad, do you understand? He's talking to his grandparents. He's telling them, do they understand? Don't talk to Shigaraki about heroes. And then we get more information about his father. My father was an entrepreneur who built up a lot of wealth at a young age. He even invited his parents-in-law to live with them after building it. And then we see, his mother taking care of him. It seems like the mother's the only one that really cares about Shigaraki. She's the only one, that's taking care of him, healing him from his wounds, his injuries, and allergies, when his allergies acting up, and all that other stuff. Because she's the one that told him, do you want to still be a hero? And he says yes. Mikun and Tomo-chan were being left out by everyone. I asked Mikun and Tomo-chan to play with me, and we played hero, and it was really fun. And then Mikun said Tenchan can be All Might. Tenchan can be All Might. They let me be All Might because I played with them even though they were being left out. This goes to show you, man, that at a young age, he loved All Might. just like everybody, just like Deku and everyone else. He loved All Might. But I'm getting a little too ahead of myself. Why won't Dad let me be a hero? Is it because he hates me? Will he let me if I get a quirk? Of course he doesn't hate you. He just knows. He knows how hard it is to be a hero. Kids can be surprisingly crafty, but also simple. What adults say is law, which is why all I wanted was for you guys to say one thing. But this home that my father built gently denied everything that I was. And now we get to see, now it turns out Shigaraki does know that Nana is his grandmother. His the sister Hana, or whatever the hell it is, Hana shows him the picture of him and Shigaraki. And well, not Shigaraki, but his dad, I think. And he finds out that Nana is his mother and she was a hero. Well, she is was a hero. And he asks, why are you giving me this? Even after what Dad said, I'm on your side, Tenko. Don't worry. And this little bitch, bruh, she says, let's become brother and sister heroes. We'll keep it a secret from Dad. This bitch is cold, bruh, because like right afterwards, it was really humid that day. My grandma was a hero. I can't believe we had a hero in the family. Manchan, right now I feel like I could take on anything. Ouch. He feels a painful sensation in his hand. It seems like his quirk is starting to activate. But right before, his father comes busting out yelling, Tenko, were you in my office? You saw it, didn't you? The humidity after the rain was stabbing in my hands, was stabbing at my irritated skin. And I felt a pit in my stomach. And the next thing you know, we see Hana crying, fake crying, saying it was all Tenko's idea. He wanted to see the picture. He wanted it, not her. I mean, she was the one that fucking showed him the picture. Little bitch. I only did it because Tenko said he wanted to see it. Kids can be surprisingly crafty, but also simple. And then we see his father slap him so hard, bruh. And everybody's just like, they all hated him. They all hate him at this point. That is not your grandma. She is a terrible woman who abandoned her own child. I'll teach you what a hero really is. And this man Shigaraki, at a young age, he's crying for help. He's crying, he's screaming, he's begging for help. And everyone's just sitting back in horror and watching, because they know the backstory as well. As he's screaming out for help, they just watch him beat him, and they really don't do anything, which is pretty fucked up, man. I told you, man, Shigaraki's stories ought to be fucked up. In order to save a bunch of strangers, they hurt their own family. This was the house my father built. It's really sad, man. It's really sad. And then we find out the origin of why Shigaraki's dad is so angry at him about being heroes. I'm so sorry that I had to leave you like this. Mommy has to go fight a really bad man. He might try and hurt you too, Kotaro. That's why I need to stay away from you. I'm so sorry I couldn't be a good mom. I know this might make you hate me, but I will always love you with all my heart. I love you, Kotaro. Please live a happy life full of smiles from now on. I'll always be watching you from heaven. Man, that's emotional as fuck, man. She knew she was gonna die. She left him as a kid, bruh. She left a note. She left a letter saying goodbye and not telling him face to face. It's just so sad, man. It's so sad that she died. I'm still sad about that. Probably more sad than All Might. But it's depressing. And he says it would have been easier if you just hated me. And then after that, his family comes barging in. I've had enough. Or the mother comes busting in through the door. I've had enough. And afterwards, he comes to the realization that he went too far. He wants to change. He wants to be a better person. He wants to show Shigaraki what it means to be a hero, that what it should be. If you're going to hurt them, I'm done following your rules. And you see, everyone followed the rules because of what the mother promised them. The mother told them not to, be engaged with All Might and Gran Torino, to cut ties with them, don't interact with the family or any of that, or none of that other stuff. What happened to making a happy family together? It wasn't supposed to be this way. Then that night, and then later on that something terrible happens. No more. I can't take it anymore. Monchan, I've had enough. I hate everyone. And that ends the chapter. Man, this is low-key a depressing chapter, man. I know this just goes to show why, Shigaraki's a great villain. But man, this is freaking depressing just watching his backstory. Like, this is the 5th anniversary, Horikoshi. Come on, man. We supposed to be getting hype. We're not supposed to be getting depressed. Like, come on. This man's backstory, bruh. Now we see why he kills everyone. Like right when the dad decides to change his ways to show Tenko what it means to be a hero, what it really means to be a hero. Not, beat him every time he wants to be a hero. He's getting ready to show him love and compassion and all that other good stuff that Deku had. But right when he's about to, his motives already changed. He hates everyone. He's already a villain now. And oh man, I'm thinking about next chapter. If the first panel was him killing his family, bruh, I might cry. I'm not even lying, I might cry. And another thing is the parallels, man. The parallels between Deku and Shigaraki, bruh. Like, well, I wouldn't really say he was born without a quirk, but he didn't know how to use his quirk at a young age. He didn't know it, so technically he could have been quirkless, but so he could have been born. They both love everything that surrounds them is about All Might. All their ideals, their convictions, everything is rolled around All Might, which is why All Might is the GOAT, because everything revolves around him. So like they both loved All Might, man. Everything would have, in an alternate timeline, All Might saved Shigaraki from his father, his father. In an alternate timeline, he did. I can't even talk about this chapter, man. It's like so sad. Like that's why I'm like rambling around and stuff, man. I just don't know what to say. It's so depressing, like this fucking chapter. Like man, it and now it goes back to the question of whether or not I should root for All For One or not. Because then again, he could have saved. He probably saved Tenko or Shigaraki. He probably activated his quirk right there. But why do you have to activate it on the dog? Come on. I know the dog's dead, so they can't even play with me with that. I already know he's dead. But also another thing, I did some research on Shigaraki's real name, his villain name, and his real name, and it all makes sense about the character. Let me give you a little brief summarization. The first kanji of his villain name is Sheep, which means death. That suits a bad guy, doesn't it? That suits a bad guy. The second one is Gara, and it means pattern. However, the meanings of the kaijin include handle, grip, and shank. Wait, is it about the dad? Then the third kaijin means tree. The first name, like part of his villain name, Tomura, is obviously came from the word Tomura. That word means mourn for the dead. So his villain name is like mourning for the dead hand, aka his father. The kaijin for his real name, Tenko, means will and village and village. The meaning of the Japanese kaijin include turn, shift, change, roll over, and fall down, etc. And the last kaijin means art. Hold up. Hold up. If that's turn, shift, change, hold up. Hold on, Horikoshi. What you doing? Hold up. Are you doing what I think you're doing? With a name like that? Hold up. Horikoshi. Are you doing what I think you're doing? Are you gonna change Shigaraki, bruh? Oh man, now I'm thinking about it. If he does change, turn, shift, change, roll over, whatever. What if Deku's talking to Shigaraki in the beginning of the story when he's narrating? What if he's talking to him? Bruh, that would be so crazy. Like, there's so many theories on who Deku is talking to. He could be talking to the next successor for One for All. Oh man, I'm thinking about something else. What if Shigaraki narrates too? Like, oh man, hold on, man, this is a game changer right here. This is a game changer. This could really change the ending. But speaking of which, the My Hero movie the new My Hero movie that's gonna come out. From what we've been told, it seems it'll show like something of like an original ending of the show. One of the endings that Horikoshi had, so I can't wait to see what that is. But back to what I was saying, if this happens, this man, they could be talking to each other if they do have Shigaraki narrate too. During the my villain arc, if they have him narrate too, bruh, Deku and him could be telling stories about each other's past. Oh my gosh, bruh, this is freaking crazy. I might be overthinking it, but maybe not, man. This could be something brilliant. This could be some One Piece level storytelling right here, like thinking ahead storytelling. This could be legendary. If it turns out the way I think it does, if it turns out that way, that is. I mean, the story's gonna be legendary either way. But if it turns out like that, bro, this man is on Oda level of tier writing and foreshadowing and looking ahead, bro. That would be so crazy. Oh man, what if okay, here's the theory. What if Deku and Shigaraki are talking to each other in the future, and Deku's talking to him to get Shigaraki to turn to be on his side, and then they fight All For One. All For One will remain the villain of the story till the end. Like, that would be so crazy. Oh man, this man here, bruh. This could be legendary, low key, man. This could be legendary. But man, it's been 20 minutes. But man, this could low key be legendary if done right. But anyway, that's all I got for y'all. If you like what you saw, Detroit, smash the like button. Comment, share, subscribe, and remember, go beyond Los Ultra.